Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa Kente, your kingdom concierge.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room. Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa. Step into the ladies' room. Topics that interest you, fun and ministry too. She's on the cutting edge. Come and join the Kingdom Concierge. Step into the ladies' room.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa Kente, your kingdom concierge.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kente, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm having a great day. It's kind of rainy in Birmingham, but hey, it's sunshine. Wherever I go, I take sunshine with me, huh? You know, the Bible says where light is, darkness cannot dwell. So I know that you guys are the light of the earth as well. And just happy Monday to you. Glad to see you today. I want to make sure you go out and share the live. Let people know that the Ladies Room Talk Show, the door is now open. Yes, I'm so excited. I had a really great day today, and I hope that you did too. Tonight, we're going to have a really great show, learning some things today about leadership and understanding your vision, how to project that vision as a leader, and then understanding your simple why. Why is it that you do what you do? What is your purpose here on earth? And so we have a really great show here tonight. Now, before we get started, as always, I like to go ahead and give a big shout out to our previous guest. And so, of course, Jarrell Jones with the Inslee Renaissance Festival that will be taking place this Saturday, kicking off at 3:00 p.m. The doors will open. And so it's going to be a great lineup. You have people like Vivian Green that will be there. Yours truly will be your MC and your host for the festival. We have Joshua David, Drew Tony, and Ashley Sankey. And I just heard Ashley Sankey sing this weekend. I had to MC a birthday gathering for a very good friend of mine. So happy birthday to you, Janice Williams. Also happy birthday to my personal trainer with PK Fitness, Peggy Keebler. So I had some great people having some great birthdays this weekend. My dear cousin, Mia Lester Wakefield. She also had a birthday this weekend. So happy birthday to my peeps, my people, my folks. So a happy birthday to you. I certainly hope that you guys had a really great weekend because you certainly deserve that and more. So kudos to you. Again, Jarrell Jones was hanging out with us on last week talking about the Inslee Renaissance Festival. It's going to be great. The music is going to be electrifying. The good thing about that is those residents that live in Inslee and those in the surrounding area, your interest is going to be free. This is a free event to all of the Inslee residents. And then those of us who do not live in Inslee, it's just a mere $10 investment that will get you into the doors. Bring your lounge chair, your coolers and your dinner tables, however you do it, when you sit outside and enjoy great music and great fun and great fellowship. Some great trucks are going to be out there. The food vendor trucks are going to be out there. All Shucks and a couple other folks are going to be out there with some really great food. You want to get out there and support our local small businesses as well. This is an initiative to bring families together, to put the neighbor back in neighborhood. So big kudos to Jarrell Jones. And certainly we hope to see you there on next week. I'll be your MC and your host. And we are looking forward to having a great time on this Saturday. The doors are open at 3:00 downtown Inslee. 3:00 we'll open those doors. We'll be there for about 3 or 4 hours, kicking it live and having a really good time. So we look forward to seeing you there. I also want to remind you guys, listen, the numbers are starting to rise a little bit. I'm starting to hear more people who are getting COVID. And I did hear that there are some cases of monkeypox in Jefferson County. So with that being said, you want to make sure you go over to the Ladies Room Talk Show. If you're not following, if you're not a part of that page, go ahead and hit like and follow, because I have Dr. G, who is on the show. He came on the show a couple of weeks ago talking about monkeypox, sharing with us the things that we need to know about it, how it's contracted, what it's all about, what it does to your body and to your immune system, and then how painful it is for those who have it. So I'm seeing that a lot of people are really making fun and jest of monkeypox, and it's really not a funny thing, and it's not a laughing matter. You know, there are people who are getting it. There are people in dire pain and tremendous pain with this virus. And so we want to make sure that we're being careful and doing everything that we need to do to stay safe during still a pandemic that we're in the midst of. So this is some time for us to really be careful, to be mindful. The doctors are saying that we need to start masking up a little bit more than what we've been doing, and just be vigilant and be mindful of our surroundings and what we're touching and putting our hands in our face and such. So we want to be mindful of that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to the Ladies Room Talk Show. This is his first time. He's a newbie. We're excited about him being here. And not only is he going to be talking about his platform, and his platform is talking about leadership and understanding that, but guys, listen, he's going to do a little entertainment for us as well. He is a musician. He is a great musician. He has played for various churches and events around Jefferson County. Hello, Dimitri. I hope you're doing well today. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to share the live with your friends and your network. But Ricco he's really doing some great things out there, and he has a new CD, and we want to talk about that as well. So Ricco, welcome to the Ladies Room Talk Show. How are you?
I'm great. What's happening, Ladies Room?
Right. You're in here. Be sure to tell your wife that she's not watching. Be sure to tell her, hey, I spent a considerable amount of time inside the Ladies Room. Now I know why you spend so much time in there. How about that?
She's tuning in. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please tell her and send her my love. She is such a beautiful and wonderful lady. So please give her my love and thank her for allowing this time for you to share with us tonight. So Ricco, let's talk a little bit about what you do. A lot of people know who you are as a musician. I'm not quite sure they know what you do as a business, and you do some really tremendous things about sharing information and training sessions for those people who are in leadership, those who are aspiring to be in leadership, those who may have that second tier leadership and need to train leaders. That's what I'm starting to see out there. And that's what you are bringing to the table. I like what you're bringing to the table. It's great. It's one of those things when you say understanding your why, some people may not even know what their why is or may not understand it. And so I hope that you can share a little bit more light about that today. As we're talking about what you do. And I'm going to try to go ahead and bring up that website as you're talking. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on. This is my first time in the Ladies Room. It's not my first time being interviewed. And yes, most know about the musical side. But something happened in 2018 that really shifted my life forever. I went on a journey. I turned 40 then, so I'm 44 now. Okay. So I did a retrospect. I went back and looked back, and I was like, you know what? Something's still missing. And on that journey, that's when I really found out who I was. You see, I'm the youngest of 3 kids. My mom had her tubes tied and burned. I knew I was a miracle baby. But during that journey, that's when I found out more about the story. They thought it was a tumor. My mom had multiple tests on her, and they were thinking it was cancerous.
Right.
And the last thing that they ran was a baby test, and there I was. But the thing is, she didn't know she was carrying me until between 7 and 8 months. So I was hidden for like 6+ months. And what that did, that helped me realize that instead of looking to other people to do for me what I have been made to do for other people, right, it helped me go look on the inside to discover and unlock what I already had. You see what I mean? So that is what the driving force was behind identity and identity leadership. Right. Because one thing about leadership we know, yes, it's a very vast topic, very vast subject. But one thing my editor who helped me edit the book, Your God-Given Identity, told me, and he's ghostwritten for John Maxwell and a lot of great leaders. And one of the biggest takeaways that I remember he told me was, yes, they talk a lot on leadership concerning behavior, what to do and how to have certain results. But what you're talking about is the B leadership, BE, becoming leadership. So that's really not necessarily going from the outside in, but really going from self-awareness to self-discovery to true significance. And when I found that, I still love music to this day, but what I found is that is kind of more of introducing people to what the message really is to help them unlock more, discover, maximize, and manifest their true self, and really impact people from the inside so they can win from within. So yes, I've been doing this for a minute. Well, unofficially, I mean, I've been in ministry, been speaking ministry since 2003, but this was just another pivot or another turn that I didn't expect. But I'm glad I really said yes to it, and the lives and the people who've been impacted on this journey has been humbling and amazing. So absolutely.
Okay. So do you believe, Ricco, that can someone not have a natural ability to be a leader and be trained and taught how to be the leader? Or is it that, some people are just born naturally to have the instinct to be in leadership?
It can be both. I mean, here's the thing. You can be talented, but not trained. You can have the gift, but if you don't understand the why behind the gift, you'll abuse. I think Dr. Miles Monroe said that purpose that's not defined really leads to abuse. And so if you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you really will abuse it. So I really believe that, yes, you can be talented, you can be gifted, but it's just much more effective if you're trained. And even if you're not gifted, talented, you can actually be committed to work harder at it to become that authentic leader that you really already are, right? The thing is, don't necessarily try to put pressure on yourself to be an exact copy or a duplicate of somebody else and the way that they lead. I always say I like mentors and coaches. The only issue I have is not really to be them, because really a true leader wants somebody to be their authentic self. They're not an exact clone of them, but they're really pushing them to be what's unique about themselves to help the people they're called to help. So I think it's both ways, but don't be discouraged. Even though it may seem like you may not be reaching people, but I'm going to tell you something. You reach more people than you realize. I cannot tell you the number of people who come later and like, man, I remember I saw you on a live, or I saw you do something. And I'm like, I didn't see you. I didn't see you. Here's a numbers game that tricks you. I didn't see you on the live with me, but apparently sometime later that they watched and there was something that was impactful. So yes, I agree. It's a gift, but I believe though you're gifted, you got to work as though you're not. And that's just only going to catapult you even further to help more people.
You mentioned something when I was looking over your website, and you talk about vision, and that there's some tools, some things that you have that you can teach people how to cast their vision. And as a leader, it's important to know how to do that, because went to a class, and I forgot the gentleman's name that brought this concept up of being a vision caster or a vision carrier. And so, but you have some things and some tools on your website where you talk about showing leaders how to cast the vision. So let's talk a few about that. Do you have steps or keys that you can share tonight to help those of us who are in leadership? And maybe there's some things that we can do to sharpen our skills. So, but what would be those tips? What would be those skills to help all of us sharpen it?
I'm glad you asked me that. And I went right to the word. And I'm going to tell you why I did that, because when it came to vision, this scripture steps out to me. We hear it, especially in the King James Version. Write the vision, make it plain, put it on tablets so that he who sees it can run with it. What I also like the New Living Translation. And what it says is, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others.
I like it.
And so what the Lord really showed me was that it's like building a house. The visionary is like the architect with the blueprint. But the general contractor is like the runner that has other runners who are the subcontractors to build out the blueprint. Here's the thing. It's hard to be in something and look out of it at the same time. See, it's you can try to be in it, but you can't see the label outside of your own jar.
Hmm.
So it's so when you look at it from a visionary standpoint, let's look at it like, what is your natural strength? Are you someone, if you're someone who's very detailed, you may be what is considered, and we say a runner, but really according to Gino Wickman's book, Rocket Fuel, you're actually the integrator. And so sometimes what happens is we have the integrators trying to be visionaries. They execute, but the visionaries are trying to be integrators, so the roles are swapped. So now there's more frustration between the two. And if you're like very detailed, the day-to-day, you are more likely the integrator. Like, what's your natural wiring? It has a lot to do with it as well. And then if you're a visionary like myself, I mean, I can't stand details. I mean, I'm more, it's like ideas come and I try to stop them. And the more I try to stop them, the more they keep coming. So that is why most times a visionary, creative visionary, needs somebody who can help execute what it is that they see.
Right.
Because it's hard. It's because what's going to happen, and I've seen it happen, and I have to, when you're multi-gifted, you have to know when to do what. And as a visionary, you got to be willing to have someone who can be a second person to help you execute that which you're seeing.
That's good. You know, what I hear you saying is that there's various kinds of characteristics that would identify different people as leaders. So even though there's leadership there are different kinds of leadership. There's different types of leadership styles. And I think if you don't understand your purpose and your why, which is what you mentioned on your website, then you can really sabotage the very thing that you're trying to lead. So if you don't understand what type of leader you are, sometimes you can really hurt people that you're leading, because even though you're this type of leader, now you have to understand who and what those personality types are of the people who you're leading. And so sometimes, like what you're saying, if you're very strategic and very detailed, I'm a very strategic and analytical person when it comes to planning. And so I'm dotting I's, I'm crossing T's, and I can get anal with it sometimes. But also, if I'm leading someone who is not like that, sometimes that could bring a frustration. And so that causes unnecessary impasses to happen with leadership and those you're leading. And so I like the fact that you talk about understanding your why, because when you understand your purpose, you can better lead people. So I do you know of any types of tests? Hey, Pastor Sims, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for that good comment. I'm sure you know Ricco up in the building too. So Pastor Sims is he supports the Ladiez Room. He's always there. So we appreciate him coming in. Also, Jolanda Green is out here as well. So we're glad for Jolanda being in the Ladiez Room. Guys, go ahead and share this post, because I believe it's going to help a lot of people, those of us who are in leadership and aspire to be in leadership as well. Now, we do have a couple of more comments, Ricco, out here before I continue. But it's coming up as Facebook users, so I don't know what the names are. But of course, we want to let you know that we do see you. And we thank you for joining and hanging out with us. So, sometimes there's surveys, sometimes there are different types of personality tests that you can take, and some of them are free, so that you can kind of understand what type of leader you are. And so do you know of any, Ricco, right off, that someone could probably Google or go to and maybe take a personality test or a leadership test to kind of see what type of leader you are? Do you know of any right off?
Oh, right off. My very first one was the Myers-Briggs. That let me know. I still remember my identity. I was identified as I'm an ENFP, extrovert, intuitive, feeling, perceptive.
Okay,
that's very, very visionary.
Okay, so that was spot on for you.
Spot on. I took the test. I think I was a 3394, and out of the 9 was quick start. So that fit, and what that showed me was, if execution or follow through is not really like a strong suit for me, then I actually have to be big enough and and humble enough to be like, I can't. There's just certain things I can't do. It's hard for me as a former athlete to say what I can't do. But
Right.
a point at 44 right now, I'm like, you know what? Time is very valuable. And I can't tell you how much time I wasted trying to do stuff that I wasn't great at, just trying to save some resources, but I really wasted more time. So
that's good. I like that you said that. I took a class years ago called Time Busters.
Yep.
And so that was one of the things that they said. Even though you may be good at certain things, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. You may be able to do it and capable, but they might be your expertise. And so like you're saying, if I'm spending 2 and 3 hours doing something where I can pay someone to spend 2 minutes to do, you know, I've wasted a lot of time, and those are time killers and time busters. And so I have found that sometimes that people who are trying to, you know, save money or what have you, and I get that, but you really aren't saving money at the end of the day when you are trying to do something that's wasting your time, and you can save that energy to do something else as opposed to wasting your time doing this. Marketing, public relations, even doing something like this, producing a podcast or a talk show. You know, you don't necessarily have to do everything. Sometimes you have to hire someone to do it. And so you can just be focused on content, period. Even though you can do it, doesn't necessarily mean that you should. And so I like the fact that you are sharing this with leaders and really going in and helping them understand their purpose, understand those characteristics. Because that's when I tell you that is so important. You know, Ricco, what do you think about team building as it relates to a leadership, trying to get things done and accomplished? Do you believe that it's important to have different types of personalities on a group in order to be successful in whatever project you're working on?
I believe so. And here's the thing about it. How, again, if I took a vase or I took a bottle, as long as I'm inside, I'm using my imagination. If I had a cup, if I'm inside that cup, I can only see what's inside that cup.
Right.
But when I actually step out of that cup, I can see what's inside and I can see what's around.
Wow.
So that's why it's important. Now I understand. Even when you work sales, like I thought it was like, okay, I didn't think this would matter. But even when you work sales, there's just certain things that you need help with.
Right.
Because you have blind spots. That's not saying that you can't learn certain things to get a foundation. But look, if I was trying to balance certain books like in accounting, oh my gosh, that's like a teacher taking her notes and going on a chalkboard. I mean, it's not saying that I couldn't learn, but
who wants to? I mean, why go through the pain and suffering? That's what I think. When you're trying to crunch numbers, I'm thinking that's pain and suffering. Leave that to the experts. Okay. I don't want to go through that. But listen, guys, we're going to take a small break right now. I want Ricco to come in because Ricco is so talented in so many things. I want him to share with us a song that he's going to bring to the ladies' room, 1 or 2, but we definitely talked about 1. But he is a talented and anointed musician, and this is just another side of what Ricco brings to the table. So, hey, Ricco, take it away.
All right.
Yes, I already had my own little hey, 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 hey. Very, very nice. As always, guys, listen, you don't want to miss out on what Ricco is bringing to the table. He has a new CD that's out, some good music that's coming out here, and you got some hand claps out here. Jolanda got some hand claps going on for you. Yes.
Oh, the legend.
So I'm telling you, just really good. And I love good music. That's my background. And just really do a good job. And there are times that you come on live too on your Facebook page from time to time. You just kind of, do a groove and you just kind of play just medley of music, just much like you did tonight. And thank you for sharing your gift. That's really cool.
Shout out to my boy, my brother, LP.
Yeah, LP is on. I don't know. I think he's probably the one that's responding out here. I can't really see a name on it, but I think he's the one that's responding. So LP, he's amazing. I've known LP for a while. I've had an opportunity to photobomb some pictures that he was taking. We're in the same place together. And I just kind of, yeah.
LP, I get a shout out to LP because God really put on LP's heart to remind me, like in the mornings, I would do a thing called Morning Glory, where I would
I was in a couple of those sessions virtually.
Play like just kind of like flows to give people the minds in the morning time, get the day off right. But really, he was led by God to tell me like this request, like, hey man, could you like do a Morning Glory to help people on the way to where they're going to start the day off right. So I did a couple of times last week. I'll be back on this week to do it again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. Just anointed on the keys. It's just really amazing. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed that tonight. So again, thank you so much for sharing your gift. And not only do you have your training with the leadership and understanding your why, you also have a new CD out, a new song that's out that we need to tell them how to get to that. But you're also a motivational speaker. You go to different conferences and workshops and you're a speaker. You speak about your platform as it relates to leadership and motivational speaking as well. And so people can go out to Ricco McAdory speaks.com, right?
Absolutely.
Go out there and grab you and reach out and say, hey, I got this event, man. I need you to come speak. So guys, go ahead and reach out to him. He's more than capable of bringing some amazing information to help with your leadership team, the groups that you have, and just motivating people to do bigger and better than what they're doing right now. So go out and check him out. We got his website that we're scrolling down here at the bottom. So Rico, let's talk a little bit more about your motivational platform. What is it that you feel like you're best known for? And when people are looking for a motivational speaker, what can they expect from you?
Well, let me clarify the two. So
Okay.
I got to give shout out to my actual coach. He's like one of the top 20 speakers in the world, Kevin T. Robertson.
Okay.
And he taught me the difference between the motivational and a professional speaker. So really, I'm more of that professional to talk about the how-tos. We're in a time right now, a lot of the what and inspiration is good to start, but really, like, what can people take away, like right away after the encounter? So when I come and I speak, I actually love speaking to people, listening, and then interaction, of course, but really get into the heart of the matter. Like really get into, okay, I know what it looks like on the surface,
right?
But let's really get to what is at the core of you. Because if you understand that what's at the core of you as an individual, that helps you bring that to the team. So now you have a healthy perspective. You have a healthy image. And then too, what that prevents, it prevents the unhealthy contribution of this is not really me, but I'm doing this because of the money.
Wow.
I'm doing this only because of that, but you try to front like you're not, but you really are. Mm-hmm. You're thinking like nobody knows it, but they can really tell it, right? So I can kind of help expose like what's been there, not to put anybody on down, but really to call up the king or the queen that's in you. Because once you know who you are, this is really about the being. Mm-hmm. Once you know who you are, that positions you to do the activity from who you are that leads to the manifestation of results. So I
can see that. I can see that because if you know who you are, you're able to speak more confidently to the topic at hand. You're able, you're not coming with low self-esteem or second guessing yourself because you're coming with your A game because you already know who you are. So your belief factor is huge. You have faith in what you're bringing to the table and what you're bringing to people to help them. So that's pretty cool. That's a good insight.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I think when you really look at it from that perspective, it helps you see things different. It helps you, especially when you contribute. You're contributing from a place of authenticity. We hear that word talked about a lot, but really, I'm going to share this with you. If you look at it, you saw my website. There's 4 signature programs: identity leadership, or identity-based leadership, authority-based leadership, vision-based leadership, and creative-based leadership. So you notice that there's a unique order to that. It's a reason why. The identity is the first pillar. Once that's clear, now when you look at authority, that's the doing part, like what sets you apart. And if you look at the word, if you will allow me to share this right quick.
Sure.
I think that I found this interesting when I was doing a presentation and studying for it. The contrast between authority and author. But most of the word in authority is author. And I'm like, why is that different? When we look at the word authority, it's like pretty much controlling, telling people what to do, right? But when you look at author, it's what you originally been designed to create. Right. So when I talk about authority, I'm talking about it from what change or what solution have you been authored? I didn't say it ebonics, but what change or what solution have you been authored to create? That positions you now to see the vision of what you have. And then now you have your purpose guides your passion so you can be creative. If you only have passion but you don't have purpose, what that looks like is this. You could say, look, I'm an entrepreneur, right? So you're going to go out and you do entrepreneurship things. It's a vast community. It's vast types in entrepreneurship.
Right.
You could be wasting your energy in the wrong type because you don't know who you are and you don't know what authority that you have. And therefore you can't see your vision or unleash that true creativity. So I just wanted to share those things that I think to help bring a further perspective.
You know, when I'm thinking about your steps and how you have it in that order, I'm kind of reminded of faith and how to activate it. You know, you have to believe it, see it. Then you have to activate, you know, speak it out of your mouth. You got to activate it. So there's an order to that. But if you don't see it first, if you don't have that vision, I mean, the other steps are mute. You know, because your vision is going to bring that, it's going to bring it more to life. It's going to put legs to it. And so when I think about how to activate faith, I'm reminded when you're talking about your steps, I think it's about 4 or 5 steps you mentioned. And in that order, it's the same thing, having that vision first, seeing it first before you can even activate on it. You've got to have that vision. You got to have a vision. And so that's faith. It really is, you know, and I know with what you do, Ricco, and with what I do, I have come to realize more and more as I live this life is that there is nothing on this earth that was not derived from the word.
Nothing.
The word is the seed to everything we see. Any type of mythologies or formulas or processes and procedures, everything was rooted and grounded from the word of God. I mean, there's nothing new. Entrepreneurship, we talk about all this stuff. Oh, risk taking. No, that's faith. You're a faith walker. If you take a risk, that's faith. Same thing. Come on. And so, but you know, but people just don't give the honor to God and give him the recognition that is due. But I believe everything is foundational from the word of God, and people take it and they use it however they want to use it, but it all derived from the word. I really did believe that.
I believe, right. And here's the thing about it. Genesis 8 verse 22 is a principle that will never end. As long as the earth remains, there will always be seed, time, and harvest. And Dr. Miles Monroe was one of my favorite teachers. And he would say, your future is not ahead of you, it's within you. God placed your future in a place where you can't miss it. Yeah. And so a lot of times what we're doing, we're trying to look to external substitutes that really try to replace the internal significance. Right. So I get the Bitcoin, I get all the other investments, I get all those things. But I always tell people, like, listen, what you were actually sent here to release something that wasn't here, so that when you leave here, you'll never be forgotten. It's really never. I get legacy, but when you look at the difference between legacy and dynasty, legacy is like what you leave to people, but dynasty is what you leave in them.
Wow.
So,
and once you put it in them, nobody can take that away from you.
You stay alive. Look at Dr. Miles. Years he's with the Lord, and it's like he's still alive.
Yes.
But that is the impact God wants us to have, because we were sent here, we're marked. And you're probably wondering, those of you that watch, I rock this shirt simply because this is a fingerprint. This reminds me each time I wear it to be authentically me. If
I love it.
Crown, it means my royalty is found in my God-given, that G, and then that fingerprint is identity, which means we're marked. So if you go through life wanting to copy somebody else's fingerprint but never really being your own, then what's going to end up happening is you'll stay frustrated being another version of somebody else rather than being the authentic version of yourself. And lastly, I will say, as we were talking, something came to mind. I had to change my language from I will to I am.
Yes.
Because when you say you will, the target always moves. When But when you
Yeah,
say,
it's not sure. It's very uncertain. Yeah.
you see what I mean? So when I say I am, now that which is in front of me, and now I overtake it, I run it down, and it overtakes me, because I realize that things don't change until I become the I am first. When I become the I am, then that can help me know the habits that I need to do that lead to the change that I really want to see.
I love it. And I love the shirt. So I need to get the shirt. I don't understand why it's just my first time seeing the shirt, but I'm not gonna hold I'm not gonna hold that against you. I'm just gonna fix you my size. Tell me how much it is so I can go ahead and get my shirt so I can start rocking it, because I love what it means. I love what it means. So, as we're wrapping up here tonight, and I know you have a lot of things to do, and I'm just so grateful that you saw fit to hang out with us inside the Ladiez Room and just really share your nuggets and throw your gems out there so that people can glean from it and really use it. Everything you said tonight, Ricco, has been very easily applicable. Even a third grader can pick that up and implement it. And that's what you want. So what type of words would you have to encourage someone that's listening today? I'm going to kind of lead you on the question. I know right now there are a lot of people who are having issues with moving. Mm-hmm. Doing what God has called them to do. They're operating out of some fears, some disappointments, and they're paralyzed in their movement. What is it that you can share with them tonight, Ricco, that can prompt them to move in this season in their life?
Well, here's the thing. As I'm in my office, I look at it's a corner right here. And one of the things I can tell you is this. If you continue to stay in the same spot and keep being backed up in the corner, you'll never come out. But there's going to be some time where you're going to as you were continuing to try to push off the decision that is in your heart, whether it's that book you're supposed to write, the business you're supposed to start, the longer you put it off, the more time passes and the more time is wasted. But you can't change what happened in the past, but you can make a decision in your present to impact your future. And so I'm encouraging you today to no longer delay or no longer procrastinate, but realize that things will never change until you decide. I mean, you can have choices, right? There's choices, and then you have to decide. When I have a choice, or when I have choices, it's options. But when I decide, that means I'm cutting off all other options, and I'm committed to this one thing. So my thing to you is, if you continue to put off what you know must be done and what must be deposited through you to impact the people around you, you will continue to stay stuck in a place that you've outgrown. Nothing personal against the people or where you are, but one thing I notice about God is that he will call you out from the place of comfort, because it's stretching you from a place of where you're used to and or acclimated to now to a much better place that's going to stretch you. So don't be afraid of the stretching. Don't be afraid of the growth. That's part of the process. Anything that you're going to be and do that's worth value is going to take time, and it's going to stretch who you are, because it's not just about you, but it's about people who are waiting on you. And let me say this, as I always say, if you don't show up, the people that you're called to can't grow up. There may be other people in your industry like you who may do the same thing, but they can't be and do like you do. So I'm encouraging you today, don't delay, because somebody's waiting on you right now. Your yes could save somebody else's life. So I encourage you to say yes today.
I love it. Powerful words, powerful gems that you've shared here tonight. And I know that if they're listening live right now, some people come back later on and listen throughout the week. I know this is just powerful. And we're excited about you again coming in and sharing with us tonight. Powerful gems that's going to really help change the lives of many people who are listening here tonight. So, Ricco, can you kind of give us a little something, kind of take us on out? Just one little thing.
part. Oh, my heart.
Hey.
Keep
Okay, so you're gonna take us up another level.
So, I will say this. I'll give a little tad bit of this. It's on YouTube. Yes, it's called I Believe. And the reason I wrote that song was I was in a situation and I was just like, it was crazy.
Wow.
The song, the lyrics says, in spite of my circumstance, on the word of God, I'll stand. No matter how great my problems, I know that with Jesus, I can solve them. Yes, oh yes, I believe. So I'll do a stanza, all right? In spite of my circumstance, on the word of God I stand. No matter how great my problems, only with Jesus I'll solve them. Oh yes, I believe. Greater is He that is in me, He that is in the world. There is nothing impossible. God can't handle, no, I believe. In spite of my circumstance, on the word of God I stand. No matter how great my problems, only with Jesus I'll solve them. Oh yes, yes, I believe, I believe, I do believe in Jesus.
Yes, I love it, love it, love it. Ricco, where can we find that song?
Look, go to YouTube right now.
Okay.
It's right there. Go, I believe. You'll see me. I got like a red background. And I'm kind of laying on a shoot. So you'll see it. And then you can, of course, go to Spotify, Apple Music. You can go there. Look, I'm gonna give you inside peeps now. I've been holding back a little bit, but it's coming close now. A lot of times just dealing with timing, but I got to give shouts out to James, Fred, who actually helped me record the music video for that, which will be soon. And shouts out to the band that helped me record that. I got to do that. Marvin Mohorns. If you don't know who they are, if you heard Fred Hammond's Lord of the Harvest, that's them. If you've heard of Israel Houghton, that's them, the horn section.
Okay.
Tim Mole, Morgan Turner, who's played with Ty. And so those guys are great. Greg Clark, drummer. And of course, the engineers, I got to give a shout out to Eric Eugene Bates over there at Bates Brothers. Morgan Turner, of course, for mixing it. and the great Herb Pump Powers out of Powers Mastering in New Jersey for mastering it. So yes, I'm encouraging you all to go check it out. Play it in the morning, play it in the evening. If you're feeling down, play it. Even if you need some joy, play it. Because it's going to really be impactful to you. And there's more music to come. So absolutely.
Wonderful. You have really outdone yourself here tonight. Again, you've come in and rocked the ladies' room with all of your multifaceted talents and gifts and skills that you shared here. We're all forever grateful. And you brought some wonderful entertainment here tonight as well, too. So thanks for sharing your gift as well. Guys, want to remind you that the Inslee Renaissance Festival will take place this Saturday. Vivian Green will be the headliner. I will be the MC, the host for the evening. It's going to be great. Doors will open up at 3:00 p.m. and it will be on time. A couple of hours. We'll put you out there. Bring out your chairs and ice chest, your family, putting the neighbor back in neighborhoods. Big shout out to Jarrell Jones, who is the lead on this and really doing a great job. It's going to be a great time. And you don't have anything else to do, come on out to Inslee and support. It is free to all Inslee residents and surrounding cities. However, those of us who are out of town will just pay a small donation of $10. That'll get us in, and let's support our neighboring cities and our county. So again, thank you so much for joining me here tonight, Ricco. It was great. Again, great show. And thank you guys. I could not be who I am without your continued support. You've been rocking with us for 7 years here inside the ladies' room. I can't believe it's been that long. And again, thank you for your continued support. Be sure to go ahead and share this post with your friends and your network so that they can be more empowered as leaders in their own right. So thank you again for joining us inside the ladies' room. We'll see you later, and good night.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.